Good evening and welcome to the Mary and Jesus Show. Episode 4. We're coming to you live from the Hidden Park in Vernon, British Columbia. And tonight, you are in for a treat because I am using my super soothing voice in the beginning, but it's not going to last. And we really don't know what we're doing still, but we're having some fun. And I had nothing else planned other than this.
I have some topics on my mind.
Topics!
Topics.
What's the topic? Speak up.
Okay, I'm not sure if any of these topics will be discussed, but
And down like this, like go like right here.
not sure if there's anything left.
Put your face right there.
Okay, I'm looking at the microphone and I'm seeing my little voice do the little voice thing. Okay, so the topics I was thinking of, and none of these have to be discussed, but I know we were discussing them, and I feel like they all kind of fall into one another. It's like trauma and addiction and healing. That's been on my mind heavy. Today especially, but the past couple of days for sure. There was other ones, but I can't remember them right now. Suicide. That was the other one.
Oh, shit's getting real.
Yeah, but it's not going to be as intense as the last episode, I don't think. Like, it's just a topic matter. Might
Yeah.
be intense.
I want to apologize for last episode because it's really hard to edit stuff, and like even like taking out the slow moments, it's really hard to know what to do. I felt like just leaving it was the best option, and I want you guys to know that moving forward, I'm going to try to be more thoughtful of the fact that I'm having in the middle of a podcast and not let my emotion overwhelm me as much.
That's okay, because I think it was pretty like a good kind of vulnerable of you to like not only express that emotion but just like choosing to share it, because it's like we didn't even have to upload that episode, you know?
Yeah, I needed to.
Yeah.
I don't like to hide who I am, which I guess that means that I take back what I just said. I'm gonna get even more emotional. No, I don't know. We're gonna try to be a little more focused, I think is what I meant. Like, we're gonna try to pick a topic and talk about it and not be like all over the place, so that as we release a whole bunch of episodes, you can actually maybe find ones that resonate with you a bit more, because we don't expect you to just be interested in all the random shit that we talk about, even though you might be. But I know that something we talk about will resonate is also true. So we want to focus on certain things in each episode, so you can just find that episode for that thing.
Which reminds me, I'm not sure about every single podcast app, but I do know on Spotify when the episode finishes, there's a little questionnaire thing. And if you guys have any like requests or anything, or again like any questions that you want us to answer, like please do that. I think we'd both love that.
Yes, please. We're learning, but we need feedback.
Yeah.
Constructive criticism.
Yes, I love constructive criticism actually so much.
You can even be a little bit of a dick to me. I like it. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of an asshole. I respect that. But just a little bit, or I'll come find you with my telepathic powers. I know what you did last summer.
And the one before that. And this summer. Happy summer solstice.
Happy summer solstice!
Longest day of the year.
Hells yeah!
However, it's like just past 10 here and it's already dark out, so it's pretty short compared to last summer. I think it was like bright until like 11 o'clock, 12.
Weird.
Well, it was kind of cloudy, so.
Yeah, it's quite cloudy, yeah. That makes sense. It was interesting what those guys were talking about today, how the sun was like hitting them differently. Like even when the sun was right on them, they would notice like it was different temperatures, even though the sun was just beating directly on them. And they're just like, I don't know. I don't really know what that means, but it felt like it was important. Some weird stuff happening.
Yeah. And people are aware of it.
Okay, let's go back to our first topic. We're at 5 minutes, and we're actually going to talk about our first topic within the first 5 minutes.
Okay, so trauma?
I think so. That's probably the best place to start because it's like...
It encompasses all the other topics.
Yeah, I think you need to know your trauma in order to heal it, right?
Yeah, and get over your addictions and not kill yourself.
Yes. So it all starts with trauma. And I think even our understanding of what trauma is. What's trauma to you? What does trauma mean to you?
Well, in my personal experience, like, I would say something like trauma, like a trauma is like usually from an event, like a traumatic event, where it's so terrible, or just not even terrible, but I would just say something that is like completely incomprehensible to your brain, that it can't let it go. And you know, it's often associated with the negative emotions. I feel like I've experienced awe, or I've seen something that is almost, again, incomprehensible to myself. But when I think back on it, I'm just like, yeah, that was cool. Whereas like trauma, like it immediately, not now, but in the past, would make me anxious or depressed or just scared. I think that's how I would say trauma, how I would define it.
I love that. One thing that you got me thinking about is like, specifically because what my biggest trauma is my whole childhood. So I have to disagree with you that trauma is an event.
But your childhood is an event.
I guess, but to me an event is more of like a particular moment.
Okay.
And so there's like, that's just what I think of it. Like you go to an event, it's...
But was every single like moment in your childhood like...
No.
Yeah. So it's different events in your childhood?
It's the way I was raised.
The way you were raised, yeah, okay. I
right?
see.
And I think that's true of a lot of people. It's
Yeah.
not a particular, like, it's not like one event stands out. It's just that the whole thing was done in such a strange or different way that you just don't know.
Yeah.
And then by the time you understand how the world really works, you realize you can look back and you can see how fucked it was. And then it traumatizes you. But you
Yes.
were already traumatized.
Yes.
But you didn't know it.
Could I interrupt for a second?
Please.
You are actually describing, and I don't like to do labels because I'm trying to get free of them, but I also think that it does help describe the symptoms that you have so you can learn how to treat them, is complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and where you have multiple events in your life, because I relate to that in a very different way, I would assume, for my childhood being traumatic, because I don't think of like one thing that happened. Like usually there's a couple key things, but it was just like 16 years of it, of just non-stop kind of bullshit.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that at the time, like, you're like, this is kind of fucked up, but then it's like, as an adult, when you really have that space between you and that time, you almost come out more fucked up than originally. I'm not sure if you feel the same way, but yeah, it just reminded me of that.
Yeah, as you said that, actually, like a whole bunch of random little memories that really stood out came back to me. And so I think you're right that while it might be the overarching way we're raised, our mind sort of pinpoints a few of the specific events that happened that trigger the overall idea of the trauma. Wow, just diagnosing me on our podcast.
Yeah,
I love it. No, it's
I'm
good.
sorry to like bring
I'm
up
actually
traumas,
like,
but
I'm really happy that it's happening, kind of. Like, I mean, these are all memories that I know
Yeah.
and that I've experienced and that I'm aware
okay.
that they messed me up.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, you can know that, but then to like click them all together to be like, okay, so here's some like real ways that I can remember it messing me up and like being upset about it in the moment even.
And I'm not sure with you, but with like myself, I can kind of piece together different key events that have a similar theme, and I can trace that to like a behavior that I've adopted because of those events. Like there might, like some of them there is like one big key one that was kind of like the hammer and the nail, and like other ones it was just stacking and stacking, and then just I developed behaviors in order to kind of avoid that. as best as I could, because a lot of my traumas come from having disorganized attachment styles, so it's kind of that needing to go back and forth between how you view somebody, if that makes sense. So it might not apply to you, but I don't know.
Disorganized attachment?
Yeah. So it's like if your caregiver, this doesn't happen to me, but it's like if your caregiver loves you and hugs you and then they hit you, and your brain, your child brain is like, I need this thing for survival, but this thing's also threatening my survival. So you're disorganized because you don't know how to communicate. There's different ones too.
Yeah, I could see that would cause some serious trauma. Like, you wouldn't be able to trust anybody ever again.
Exactly.
And you would even, like, just depending on how someone's mood might change slightly, you would change because you would have to adapt to them instead of just kind of trusting them. Like, just being whoever you want to be.
It's not even like a mood change. Like, for example, like when I was a kid, when one of my family members like had a sniffly nose, like it would immediately, that would set me off into like almost like walking on eggshells.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to like make this about me. I just feel like it's best to pull from my own experience, for example.
No, of course. There's no other way for us to do it.
Yeah. Cause I can't tell other people's stories.
No, you can only teach how we've healed and what we've gone through and offer like insights into the healing process, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I think that even though the traumas might change a lot, the general healing process is the same.
Yeah.
Like, it's about understanding the event, how it affected you, what you want to do to change, like who do you actually want to be versus how is that trauma affecting your behavior. Forgiving everybody that did those things to you, because you just can't hold on. You can't keep holding on. You have to start letting go of these things.
Yeah, it's not even for them, it's for yourself.
Yeah, you don't forgive them for them.
You don't forget.
You don't forget.
Either.
You don't forget. You don't suddenly start trusting those people or something, right? Like, you still know who they are and what they did. But you have to just understand how much suffering there is in the world. And the trauma that you're going through has been around forever, you know? Like, not yours specifically, but trauma and traumatized people have been around for ever. Like, I don't know. Is that not true?
It's true, and even I think that's something else, like if you're healing your trauma, and especially if your caregivers are the ones that traumatized you, like you're very much likely like dealing with generational trauma, like behaviors that have been passed down
Yes.
for like literally centuries. And like that doesn't even start to get into like the traumas, because I've, if for example, if like you're indigenous or even like any kind of ethnicity, like other than white, like if you're a person of color, like the trauma that you're like that you experience because of that, and that your family experienced because of that, and how that impacts your life. And like, because I was just reminded of the thing I was talking about, colonizers and having all their traumas and then coming over here and then passing that down and causing new traumas and stuff like that. It's very, yeah. But yeah, long story short, like I do agree with you that like you, especially if they're not healed.
I was just thinking of something. The trauma that I kind of am going through constantly right now is why we all need to learn how to deal with trauma, because it starts in yourself, and then you'll see it in your friends, and then you'll see it in the world around you. And that's why we all need to start doing our individual parts of really like focusing on ourselves and healing ourselves and dealing with our trauma, because that's the only way to do it. But then once you learn how to do it for yourself, you recognize it in others, you're so much more sympathetic to them and empathetic, and you have to start dealing with the trauma of the world, because you have to heal from that every day. Right now I go out and I see a lot of beautiful things, don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful world, but there's so much suffering, and we don't even notice it anymore because we're all consumed by our own suffering.
Or we've just been taught to look away.
Yes, which teaches disconnection. And the moment any one of us is disconnected from another, we're weaker.
And that's why then people start to feel like they're so alone, because they were told to turn in onto themselves.
Yes.
because of because of like an individualistic society, and B, I would argue as well, it's like when you're hurt and you're traumatized, a lot of people don't want to be around you,
Mm-hmm.
because then they're like, you trigger me, remind me of my pain and my suffering I'm trying to distract from.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes the world so like I just find there's so many unsympathetic people, and I can only imagine it's because they're hurting and they're just mad that you or somebody else can't push it down as much as they can. Because I know I felt that way a lot. It's like, well, I can hide my pain, why can't you hide your pain? And that's not a good way to look at it.
No, no. It's hard not to, though. Like, there's a lot of bitterness that comes with, like, starting to look at things more. Like, even when you do start to, for example, look at, like you were talking about, that person and who they are and why they're behaving that way, you'll feel their pain. You will understand where they're coming from and why they're that way and how fucking lost they are. But we're all just humans, and so if you know behavior and you know just slightly how humans work, and you just trust your heart, you can just react to that situation with love, always, and it will always work out, and they will always learn something, and you will walk away free as a bird, just like you always were.
And also, I think it's okay to say that as well, as that if this person's like unwilling to change and keeps coming to you with the same things, I think it's good to be there at a point, because it is a process and it's hard to learn, and some people need their hand held at some point, but also knowing to like respect your energy when that person is just relying completely and entirely on you.
Yes. Recognize the difference between someone willing to learn something and someone just coming to you to take from you, basically.
Yeah, to complain or get you to fix their problem.
Yes. Take your energy, basically. And you'll recognize it easily and learn to not do that. Like, you are first. Build up your energies, you know. There's ways to balance it too, like making sure you go up in nature and just start doing like some things throughout the day that make you just appreciate the moment a bit extra, always. I gotta work on that. All this stuff we're so busy and constantly just doing shit. It's like, keep forgetting to smell the roses, you know?
We literally do.
Literally.
I mean, like when we're out walking and stuff, even if I don't physically stop, I try to like take a look around at the people or at nature and stuff and just
True.
think and be in the moment in that way. But it's obviously different than trauma. But now it's like looking at the future all the time. It's like, what's gonna happen? What do I need to do? How can I do it?
What step are we on here? What are we talking about? Healing still? Because I have some theories on healing. Are we still on trauma? It's all kind of the same,
Yeah, it's all
right?
interconnected. Like, we were just still
That's
talking
true.
about experiences with it and how it can affect you.
Right, I was thinking about the hard one like that. Why you need to learn how to heal trauma is because there's so much around you. And so every day you go out with this love, you're going to have trauma because you're going to see the negative around you. And so it's very important to learn how to heal it. Right? Like, it's a life skill we all should have. And there should be like a little trauma manual. Just like posted on your fridge. Like, here's 10 steps real quick, things you can do. What are you feeling? What are you thinking? You know, like, go rinse your head under some cold water and just chill for 5 minutes, and just like, just things you can do throughout your day, random questions, like just keep asking yourself stuff and trying to understand and trying to always forgive yourself and everybody and accept it. Just like, accept whatever you've done, whatever happened to you. Just, it fucking happened. And now we just are here, and I know it's hard to say that. I know it's hard for me to say that.
It's definitely easier said than done.
Yes.
Because I was thinking about, like a lot of people, like when I was trying to find like support like online and stuff, when I was too like anxious to go outside, was that there's like, literal disorders that like the literal ways of the brain making it so it hides the trauma so much from yourself because it's like your brain cannot handle it. So it's also, I feel like, you know, you really need to like don't beat yourself up if it's still affecting you, because it's like just as long as you're fucking trying,
Yes,
going
the
out and doing
forgiveness
something
part.
that
Always,
is so
every day.
fucking important. Like I always think it's just, even if it's like affecting you to the point where you can only get up and go to the bathroom, it's like at least you got up and went to the bathroom, you know, and go in your bed. But it's true. And like, but I think for a lot of other people though, the shit that they prescribe you in therapy is just the shit that it literally works. You just have to keep going at it and don't expect instant results. Like when they talk about meditation, breathing exercises, or I forget, it's called PMR, and I forget what the acronym stands for, but when you tense your muscles up for a couple of seconds and then relax for a couple of seconds, doing like meditation, if I didn't say that already, it's all in journaling, if that works for you, or taking voice notes. It all is so fucking healing.
Did you just mention like a good physical activity of any sort too?
Yeah.
I just missed your list. I started thinking about them.
And even if you don't like physical activity like me, because you know you can go out for a walk or go play a sport, like one thing I really found enjoyable, and even though you feel kind of goofy when you do it at first, is dancing. And even then just listening to music. Like I think all of those things, and finding a hobby, like, and making time for that, like I feel like that's such an important thing of self-care. It's like, unless it's coding, or maybe, or actually no, I shouldn't just say unless it's coding.
Oh,
But
I
try
was
to
thinking
avoid
about
screens.
coding your brain.
Try to avoid screens.
You gotta
Yeah.
understand how to code your brain. You literally train your brain all day how it's gonna behave, right? And so that's why like getting a mantra on like how you want your behavior to change and just saying that shit all day, and then like lots right before bed, you're recoding your subconscious, right?
Yeah.
It's literally like a skill. Like it's like something you can do to change the way your brain works.
Yeah, I've literally done that with so many like OCD like obsessions or like anxious thoughts. Like I have managed to like rewire like how I respond to like how my brain handles that.
Yes.
So there's fucking proof.
And an important note, if you're trying that, is to make sure that you don't change it to a negative. It has to be a positive affirmation. It has to be, it can't be like, don't have trauma. You know, it has to be, I am healthy.
Yeah, I'm healed. I'm
healthy. I am mentally healthy. I am, you know, I'm an immortal god. Just go straight to that.
Yeah.
What are you? You're an immortal god. Like, just say that to yourself. You know? And then shit's gonna get fucking crazy because you might become an immortal god. Right? So just go for it. And the more of us who think we're all immortal gods,
The more we will be.
the more we will be.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting one.
Manifestation is very fucking powerful.
Very fucking powerful.
Listening, I suggest making your own, but listening to subliminal messaging, especially like when you go to sleep, that shit changed my life. But also, like, if you don't make your own, you should be careful, because some people make videos and they like put negative things in there. So usually the comment section will be, you know, helpful. But yeah, I'm being serious.
Sorry, I zoned out thinking about being an immortal god. That'd be
That's
fun.
okay.
That'd be so fun if we were all just like gods suddenly. I wonder if we would all be like our own definition of what we think that God even is. You know, like what
Yeah.
would it be? Just we'd have to get together and be like, these are the subtle changes we want to make to our chemical composition that'll let us grow into this.
Have to have like a town hall meeting.
Town hall meeting. So what's the chemical analysis on how we're gonna remove the atoms to become immortal from our bodies? Wait, remove? I think it is remove. Yeah, because you're tightening things up. What were we talking about? Where were we at?
I was talking about listening.
Before affirmations.
We were
And
talking.
recoding. Oh, yes, coding.
Oh, before all of that,
Maybe. I think that we don't need to say much more. Like, just affirmations
true.
and, like, literally,
And subliminal messages and manifesting.
yeah, and using that affirmation as also, like, a way to get rid of other labels. Like,
Mm-hmm.
forget about other words and holding on to ideas about negative shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just let go of it.
Yeah.
It'll come back. I promise. And then practice letting go again.
I
You
only
know?
use labels just so it's like people understand like what I'm trying to
Yes.
describe.
Yes. It's important. We need a way
Yeah.
to communicate. But it's important to not let it affect your mind very much.
Yeah, like I don't go around telling myself like, oh, I'm this way because of my OCD or something like that.
Yes. But then even just talking about it and saying you have it, though, like,
Yeah, but
really
it's like I don't
affirming with
care.
that.
I
No, I
just
know.
I just
I know.
recognize that I have the literal behaviors of that thing,
Yes.
but it's not a bad thing
No. No.
necessarily.
Yeah, it's about how it affects you at the end of the day, too, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And just being you and, like, not worrying so much about what anybody thinks at all.
Mhm. Like as long as it's not negatively impacting your life or other people's lives, like I think you should just act however you feel most comfortable or want to. Unless it's like hiding in your bed all day, then probably want to like try to like expand your horizons, speaking from experience, but I'm just talking about like behavioral quirks, like how I speak or don't. Sorry.
How you speak or don't speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I just find that I'm very like don't think I said this to you, but I was talking to Joshua. I was thinking about how you said I was weird, and then I was like, I just wonder in comparison to other people in general, like how weird am I? Not as like a positive or negative, but I was just like, how much? Not that it matters, but I was just like curious by it. Does that make sense?
Sorry, say it again.
Like how weird I am. Like, am I really that weird?
I don't think so. I mean,
Because you said I was weird.
I have a.
So that's what I just mean.
That's a compliment, though,
Yeah,
to me.
but that's what I mean. Wasn't looking at it as a positive or a negative. I was just like thinking in general. Because I've always like talked about wishing I was more normal. So it's like I am aware that I'm kind of strange.
You're the new normal.
Yeah. Everyone be like me. Don't be like me.
No,
Don't be like me.
Don't.
Very bad idea. But do you get what I'm saying though?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
The vape.
The vape.
Oh. So.
Talked about healing and trauma. Addiction and suicide.
Ooh.
Addiction's hard for me because I'm A, not healed from my own addictions, and B, like I haven't struggled through like, like I've never been addicted to something that would kill me if I quit it. So it's hard to say.
Addictions are weird. You can be addicted to anything.
Yeah. Because I would even say stuff like eating disorders are like addictions. Like if you're like starving yourself or overeating or making yourself throw up, like that's like addictive.
There's so many things to be addicted to.
And some things are okay to be addicted to. Like breathing.
I always forget that one.
Yeah. Or if it's like, wow, I really love this routine that I have. Like, I think that's fine. But it's like, again, I'm not talking about physical dependence. I'm just talking about mental dependence. It's really tricky when you feel like you need that thing. Whether it's like a drug or a behavior or whatever. To get you through. It's very hard. And I think forgiveness of yourself is very important. Key for that. Because you're gonna relapse. Like, I know that you can manifest it, but I think it's also okay to be honest with yourself that it's like, shit fucking happens and it's fine. Like, it's not, the world isn't gonna end because you relapsed either.
Yeah, I think it comes back to understanding
Yeah.
and forgiveness.
Yeah.
You know,
And healing.
addiction.
Yeah.
I find addiction often comes from trauma.
Yeah, I was gonna say healing from your trauma will probably help you in stopping your addiction. Not completely, probably, but it major help.
Yeah, and
Maybe
taking
completely.
5 minutes a day again and making a mantra. You know, if you know the behavior you want to change, don't think about not doing it. Think about doing something else.
Yeah.
You know, like I am not a good example for it, but one of my favorite things is when I quit smoking. Instead of like saying I'm quitting smoking, I said I only breathe air, like fresh air, and it was amazing. I only breathe fresh air. That was my mantra, and it actually really helped. Just like it's about changing it to a positive and finding like why are you using it and why don't you want to use it and just going for it.
Yeah. Or like me with weed, when I was like doing it like all day, every day, and it was really negatively impacting my mental health and like my wallet. Is I would try to prolong my day. So like I would try to clean my house, and then when that's done, I would try and go like have a list of hobbies and things. It's like, oh, before I smoke weed, like I'm gonna draw this first, or I'm gonna sew this, or make myself do an activity that I know I wouldn't be able to do as well stoned. Like coding was a big one too. And then eventually I got it to where it was like 10 and 11 p.m. at night, whereas before I was doing it as soon as I got up and just continuously throughout the day. And that really helped. And I just didn't think about it. Like I didn't even say anything about it, you know? Sometimes I would, if I like fucked up and I did it early, I would kind of be hard on myself, which wasn't good, but it was like I just tried to not think about it. Because I'm like, this doesn't own me.
My worst addiction was by far gaming. But it's a really tricky one because it was all learning times, right? Like whether, that's one thing I do like about games. Like I'll always rather play a video game than watch TV. But there's no good 2, 3, 4 player video games, you know? Or there's very few of them. Alright, there's quite a few. But nobody plays them anymore, you know? Like it's
Yeah.
not a family thing, it's tough, right? And so then you kind of feel solitary because now that shit's all online and like single player. But it's still good because it's online and you interact, but then you feel detached again, right? Like you're more interested in this internet world because you have friends there and you have people there and communities and games you really like that are amazing and epic. Way more interesting than day-to-day life for now. You know? But it's fun. Like they're fun. And it's just recognizing, I guess, respecting the time it takes up, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what it's about, I think.
'Cause, yeah, for me it was less video games. Like I think my worst one, well, my worst two, and the second one's not safe for work, but was the internet and porn. Not even porn, just masturbation. Because the internet, I feel the exact
tell
same.
more. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but the internet, like it was the exact same thing as you, and I was like such a shut-in, right? That I'm like, this is my community. And even then, I don't have to talk. I can just lurk and read all these forums and things, and just feel like I'm in a room of people, listening to the conversations. Not creepily, but just just sitting around listening. Masturbation, I feel like, is the same as drugs for me. But it was just more addicting. And again, it's just about like the internet. I just went cold turkey. Like as soon as I met you, like I've just been kind of offline, even more so, because I kind of like deleted all my social medias, but now I have social medias again. And I was only really like, I had a Tumblr, and I had my own personal website, and those are my kind of two things because it's pretty anonymous. Whereas that was cold turkey, but the other addictions were again, yeah, I was pushing time and just trying to be like, no, I'm gonna do these things first. But it's also okay to acknowledge that like you know you can't do it alone sometimes, and you need to have community to help you. The world's fucking lonely. Like you feel like a lonely place, but it's truly not. And if you're somebody who's in a kind of a better space, you can do your part to make it feel less lonely for people. Again, protecting your energy and resting, but you know, still going out and you know, maybe talking to like that person that looks kind of, you know, I mean, if they're closed off with their headphones on, then don't fucking bother them. But it's like if somebody looks like you know, that they could use a friend, it's like go up and fucking say hi. And if they want to be left alone, leave them alone. I don't know. They're just ideas. What are you thinking about?
We were tricked.
We were tricked?
Yeah.
By who?
Something.
What?
Something here on Earth.
What makes you say that?
Because we are all immortal gods.
Mm-hmm.
And we're in this human form.
Mm-hmm.
And suffering. It's like something tricked us. It was like, hey, we're just gonna take your energy and use it ourselves to create industry and our own wealth. And they made us fucking get jobs and shit. But we're fucking immortal fucking gods. Shape the universe. And we're all stuck down here. We've been tricked. The human race has been tricked. It's fucked. Every single one of us. We fucking tricked ourselves or something. It's so weird.
At this point in the game, yeah, we're tricking ourselves.
Yes.
This episode took a turn. I feel like that's all I had to say on this topic.
What did you say, sorry? What did you say?
Nothing.
What did you say? I can just
Which
go rewind
part?
it. I just missed
Yeah.
what you just said. I was drinking
Oh,
water.
sorry. I just said that they're like that's like a sudden topic change, but that's fine because I think I said all I had to say.
I was just really honestly trying to think about my trauma.
No, it's okay.
And what's happening right now. And like why it frustrates me so much.
Yeah. That is fine.
Like, I mean, it's just a theory. But I don't think it is a theory anymore. I've never trusted it so much before. The feeling I just got. Like we've literally been tricked. And it's amazing. Because now we get to be untricked. But we're trying to save as many as we can. That's why we're doing this shit. Heal trauma. Become a god.
Yeah, listen to what I said and you'll become a god.
It's true.
You actually won't become a god because you already are one.
Yes.
You just have to literally just wake yourself up.
Yeah, remember
That's
you're
all
a
I can
god.
put it. She'll come to you. And I bet you're fucking sitting there right now, if you're listening, and you're like, oh, well, some of you not, but some of you, I know. Like, oh, I'm not a fucking god, I can never be like that. It's because of your limiting beliefs. And that's literally why you have to start manifesting. Is like, no, I'm a fucking god. Because you are.
Manifest.
It's fucking true. It's literally, no, like, it's so fucking true, though. Like, you just need to gain the self-awareness to change your thought patterns, and, like, everything comes into place. Like, everything will come into place. Like, and you'll be shocked at how fucking fast it happens when it happens.
Yes.
Speaking from experience. Like,
Yes. I was just gonna add that it like comes with no expectations too.
Yeah, you
like,
have to have no expectations.
Just know it'll work though, right? But
Like-
like also be okay when it doesn't, right? And then try again, and try again, and try again, and try again.
And that's
And
why
then change it up and come back to it and try it again and try something else.
Yeah.
Experiment.
And that's why I think, like, you and I have been so successful with all these things. Like,
Yes.
because we just don't expect anything. But we're not going in negatively, like, oh, it won't work. It's just,
Yeah, and we're just
whatever happens,
manifesting
happens.
things.
yeah.
Or like things are just happening. Like it's amazing. Oh. It's so much fun.
Yeah. And also intentions, because literally I went in with intentions to speak, like, my idea, come up with decent ideas, and speak with confidence, and I feel like I've done it. My ideas, I don't know, but my speaking, I feel like quite, you know.
I love how much you've been speaking.
Thank you. I'm sorry, I actually feel so rambly, but
I love it
have a
because
lot to
you're
say.
way better at talking about stuff than me, to be honest.
no,
You're a great communicator in your own way. You're the nerd.
I'm the nerd.
You're
Yeah,
the nerd,
that's
which
true.
means you actually know shit.
It's
I don't
true. I feel
fucking
like I
know
know a little
shit. I
bit.
just can talk well about some
Yeah.
things. I could talk good.
You can just make, like, an interesting story.
Sometimes.
Yeah,
I am the interesting story.
you are.
No, I'm just kidding. Shit's weird though, for real.
Wait, are you looking for a light?
Oh yeah, please, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, because I have a lot to say about these topics, because, like, obviously all these topics are, like, important to my life, but I feel like a lot of, like, more spiritual shit, for example, is very new to me still, whereas, like, all of these things, except for maybe addiction, which has been probably, like, 7 years, everything else has been my whole lifetime. Healing and trauma. So it's on my mind a lot. Like, I have a lot to say about it because I've had so much time to think about it and no one to say it to. And I feel like, I might have said this already, but it's like, I feel like, for me at least, I'm not saying that everyone should do it, but I find it, like, good for me to sometimes speak about my traumas because I feel like it helps explain, like, where I'm coming from. With the awareness and still trying to obviously, like, heal and change my behaviors. But also, I think it's fine to kind of not normalize it as in, like, this shit's okay, but normalize it for the people that went through it so you don't feel like you're fucking crazy. Feel like you're the only one that went through it, you know? Does that all make sense?
Yes. I'm sure it will make sense when I listen to it again tomorrow. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm just trying so hard, honestly, to, like, be normal. That I'm forgetting to just listen to you.
Stop being normal.
No, I'm trying to like not feel so weird in my own head. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Like I'm feeling really high and like my body's
Yeah, I was gonna say
weird.
you're just high.
Yeah, yeah, and like I think that there's literally a way anytime that your consciousness can just kind of go into everything because we're all one, and it's fucked.
Yeah.
But I don't like to experiment with it because
Did you see that?
it's weird for me. See what?
Didn't the light go off over there?
No, I don't know. I didn't see.
Sorry to interrupt. I really apologize.
No, that's okay.
That sigh directed at me?
No.
Oh.
No, I feel weird.
Yeah. I feel like high, but I feel like really chattery. I have like the past couple of times. I don't know why. I guess because I've been wanting to be. A lot of people inside me have a lot to say, and they're finally like trying to say it.
Go for it. Say stuff.
Yeah, like we are.
Oh, good, good. Got you. Yeah, that makes sense as to why you have much more to say than I, too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like... I'm the weirdo, alright? I'm the weirdo in the group. You're normal. That's why when I say that you're weird, it's actually me just trying to compliment
Yeah, no.
you.
I was just thinking, like, I wasn't thinking about it in any way, but I was also just thinking about, like, other people that you've dated, because you said you literally dated somebody who was, like, a dentist person, and I'm like, that's so, like, normal. So,
Very short term, yes.
yeah, but still.
No, most of my relationships has been normalish. Yeah.
No, but I don't even
know.
mean the relationship, I just mean the person.
Oh. Well, other than her, they've all been fucked.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
No, yeah.
I love everybody. I love all the people who I've known, all dated. They're all amazing.
I still tell my ex that I love him.
Oh yeah, I would say that I love them, love everybody. Like just
Yeah.
like I do. Like I just fucking love everybody. And, like it's not fair. It's so hard. So hard.
Yeah, it is.
Because there's so much suffering. You just see it more and more, and the more you gain awareness of what's going on in the world around you, it's just suffering and suffering and suffering and suffering. And that's like, it's hard, man. It's hard. For each one of us. It doesn't matter what stage you're at. If you're on yourself, or you're on to the world, or you're on to whatever level you're on, it is, it's always hard. But you learn to love so much more, right? It's about learning the goodness that comes with the bad. Because the badness, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. But what changes is the way you can deal with things and move forward and let them go and heal. Like your own healing skill, you'll just get better. And you can start to teach it. And it'll literally be like a blossom effect around you once you learn how to heal yourself, right? Like, because it works. You can. Like, the brain is a powerful tool, and we have so many resources, and there are, like, always people to talk to. Like, you can find them. They're out there. Try to find some people to talk to about it. Whatever you're going through is maybe not exactly, obviously, but there are people that have probably gone through something similar enough, you know, that you could easily just talk to them somehow. I don't know. Be open to exploring, learning however you can about whatever it is you're going through. Just understand it. Right? That's why diagnosis, as much as I hate to label yourself, it's important, right? We talked about that, I think, in the beginning.
Yeah, we did.
Like, that's how we understand shit, right? But then don't accept it as you. Like, it's not a part of your identity. So it's like, yeah, just understand. Are we gonna talk about the S word? That's what I've been stalling for. I've been stalling for
Okay.
the one of my sad ones. It's just a sad one.
Yeah, it is sad. It's fucked up. I think the whole, like, the only thing I feel like I want to say about it, even though I have a lot to say about it,
Yeah.
is just that, like, I think remembering the importance of community,
Mm.
like, whether you are struggling, like, there is always, the systems are fucked up right now. Again, speaking from experience, like, when you are trying to get help. But it's like, help is there, like, it's just like a friend or something, and I feel like also us reminding to be open and honest and, like, listening to people. Because that's, like, the one thing, it's like, I feel like if you, like, tell someone how you're feeling, like, you can work up from that. Because as corny as it is, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Because the feeling will go away. Whatever's causing you to want to do that, like, whatever's happening, it will stop. Have to believe that. That's all I feel like I have to say.
Fuck, I wish I was better at paying attention to what you said. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Especially such an intense subject, my mind just got away from me. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm gonna really actually get better at it though, okay? Here on out.
I'll believe it when I see
Fuck!
it.
I swear I'm trying. I'm not. Ah, it's the worst when you just thinking about other shit and you
I
can't
know.
fucking stop.
I can balance it.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. Could you give me the rundown on what you said? I'm sorry, so I don't repeat you.
I don't know. I was saying, like,
what you
permanent
said.
solution to a temporary problem, even though it's corny. And I was just talking about the importance of, like, community and reaching out. And needing to believe that, like, it will. Your situation will improve, whether it's, like, physically or mentally or both.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I feel like this is like maybe really hard because if you're at this stage, you're too far gone. But just go meet a stranger and try to like have a positive experience with a stranger. I think is like a huge thing, like because if you're going down that path, it's like you just feel alone, even with the people you're with. Or whatever's going on. You feel alone. You feel trapped. You feel so much pain. Nobody understands you. Nobody knows what you're going through. Nobody is there for you. But if you go out and you just have an interaction with a stranger, or maybe you're a little bit out of your way to be kind in a weird way, and just try to interact with them. Say hi. How's your day or something, you know. I just think that meeting a new life sometimes can change the way you look at your own life. And you'll also feel a connection with a stranger. And there's 8 billion of us, and there's people here for you, you know? There are. You just gotta go out there and be a person too, you know, and meet people. People are full of love and understanding. Full of it. But you gotta be bold, you know? You gotta be willing to go do it. You don't have to get into the intense conversations. Literally just hold the door open for someone you wouldn't normally or something. Have some silly interaction. You know that awkward leg where you like make them do it? I don't know, that shit's funny. It works. And it's just like you smile and you laugh and it's silly. And I don't know. It's like, oh, do I hold that open or do I close it? You do the little close the door and open it on them, you know? You did? I don't know. I don't even know where that came from. But just like, I don't even know. There's just so much joy in going out and just, I don't know.
For me,
It's not always about.
like, for me, like, I really felt like I couldn't handle silly interactions. Like, sometimes I would just make me feel even worse. So like something I would do is like I just tried to smile at people, like even if I felt like I was really faking it, because it's like I really wanted that person, you know, to have a nice day, so that helped. Or like if the situation applies, like I just like to share food with people.
Sharing
Or like
food
make
is a
food
classic.
for people. Like I like buy a box of
Classic.
Timbits at school, you know. I should do that sometime. I want to do that.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to like treat yourself, I think.
Yeah, each day, once a day, buy yourself a present.
Fuck yeah.
That's what Dale Cooper said. So
Fuck yeah.
you should do it.
I love that. Shit, that's why I'm getting fat, eh? Just buying donuts every day, birthday
Yeah.
cake.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, all this non-bread.
This naan bread. Nah, this naan bread got us lean.
Yeah, I feel like we're not in bad shape.
No, we're fine. We're doing enough walking.
Yeah, I need to be like cautious. Yeah, actually, I have a lot of more leg muscles now. Like I feel like they're like way more. Oh yeah. And yeah, even if you can't feel like you should talk to people, but I really do think like if you're like really close to, you know, making rash decisions, like I think you should try to talk to someone. But even just going on a walk,
Nature.
you know, yeah,
Nature is
nature's
so good.
sitting in a field, sitting in a park, going on some swings, seeing the little animals, like whatever's in your area, like that shit would make my day. And I'd be like, I'm gonna live another day so I can see this bird.
Yes.
Yeah. And then you find bigger reasons.
Yeah.
And more reasons.
Yeah.
And then you're like, shit, why did I even want to leave?
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll go back down, but then it's like you always know that's like, hey, I fucking made it last time. And just go back to doing what you were doing, you know? Address the problems, if you can, that led you there. You know? I'm just speaking from experience. Honestly, no guarantees, but I believe it.
Yeah. I don't really have anything more to say on this subject.
Yeah, me either. We love you.
I wasn't thinking about saying that, or not saying that. I just was thinking about something. Yes, definitely, of course. That's what this podcast is all about.
Yeah.
That's why we end every one on a sad note. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we're not.
No.
I just wanted to say that.
Yes, we do love you, though. We do love you. I love you all. I know Aaron does. And, it's a really strange and beautiful place we live in, and I think learning to appreciate that and like the amount of unknowns there are in life, that's what makes it so beautiful. Like, I don't know, just never give up on whatever it is you're going through, and like be willing to look at things differently and just experiment. Like, that's what I think things mostly come down to, is as soon as we get these loops in our mind, any sort of a loop that you're stuck in is very detrimental. It's letting go of the way your mind is programmed and just filling it with something new and different, right? If you have the same negative thoughts every day, that's an imprint on your brain that you need to do the exact opposite to get out, you know? So if you've been depressed for a couple of years, you got to put in a lot of mental work to get out of it, you know? Like, it's all imprinting on the brain.
Can I use a metaphor my therapist told me?
Please.
It's kind of like how you take a route through the bushes to get somewhere. And it's all, you know, there's like a brown path and there's like a hole in the trees. And then you're like, I'm gonna go a different way. And the first time, you know, you're gonna have to push through branches and shit and the grass is all tall and whatever. But eventually, after you walk back and forth a couple of times, it becomes just like a clear path. And you know, sometimes you might turn around and go down the old path and you're like, what the heck? And then maybe sometimes you'll turn around and go down the right one. You know?
I love that.
I liked it too.
Sometimes you'll find weird shortcuts with portals to a new forest you've never been to before.
Yeah. So true, bestie. Try not to get crinkling sounds on the microphone, I'm sorry.
It's snack time.
I just wanted some non-bread.
Non-bread's coming out. Hummus is coming out. We
Please-
only brought 4 types
please
because
don't
we're
judge
silly.
me. Only.
Yeah, I know, we were missing the other 3. That's okay. No.
Those are doubles.
Yeah.
Those are the broken pieces. Sorry, everybody. I do apologize.
Should we talk about what we did today a little bit?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about because of the food. I was reminded.
Yes. I don't know. I just like actions to speak for themselves, and so once I start talking about my own actions, I feel like,
Oh, so we can call to action people.
call to action people?
Yeah, like if you're listening
Ooh.
and you find, sorry, and you find a shopping cart lying around, go and fill it up with food and just give it out to people. If you can afford it, just do it.
Yes.
And, you know, make some signs, maybe hang Christmas lights. I don't know what your style is. And, you know, have a variety of food, you know, coffee, you know, fruit, vegetables, treats, like all that shit, you know. Maybe even have like, you know, like first aid kits or like blankets or books.
Yes.
Put some signs up and just walk around town. And, you know, maybe say hi to people. Say hi to people. And yeah.
Yeah. And like, just don't be afraid to yell at people like, hey, you hungry or thirsty? Like, whoever. We got water and food. You hungry? Like, doesn't matter who it is. Just like, yell nicely. Or preferably, you know, be near them and talk normally. But, you know, don't be shy about it. Like, you're just enjoying it, you know? Like, you're just there providing a service nobody knew they needed, except for all of us knew we needed it. You know? So I think it's pretty cool. It's a good feeling. And it's more than a good feeling, because you're actually like helping someone eat and drink water. Like, it's such a simple thing. Like, I know that there's lots of systems in place, but I know for a fact people still go to bed hungry. And I don't know, I just thought that the more individuals that might take up free food carts, the less starving people we'll have in our own cities, you know? And then you develop friendships, and you get to know people, and you start to care about them, and that's when you get even more bitter about it all, because you're like, why are these people so, why is there so much suffering? Like, how can we not just look after each other? And you see it in every single class, for lack of a better word. It's only really 2 classes, the working class and the non-working class, and then the elite. It's like, we're only as strong as our weakest link. We need to build each other up, help each other out. We're all so connected. We're all so connected.
Yeah, and I think it's especially important too because a lot of systems that are in place, like, they're so broken. Or like the story that you said about like how people were just a couple minutes late and they were like trying to throw the food out.
Yeah.
Or like, I know like this is kind of different, but like housing accommodations and how like they don't let people who are still addicted, and it's like how how are they ever supposed to heal if they're stuck like on the side of like they can't even sleep on a fucking bench because it's built so you can't sleep on it or sit on it comfortably. In every area you go in, alarms start blaring. Like it's just like it's awful. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I have some theories about things that I would do if, like, as I am learning more about it, especially. Got to do some volunteer work, though, for a bunch of different companies, see how they actually work, see what they have to put up with on their end, right? Because things always seem, like, simple from the outside and, like, you know everything, but I don't really know, you know? Like, I've never been to one. I don't know what it's like.
I just know things are messed up, you know?
I know things are messed up, too, because we're not looking after our own people properly.
I just want to say, I'm not like blaming like organizations in particular.
No.
It's just these
like, I know there's things
like,
out there.
It's making me upset.
It needs to be more, though, and better, and just, like, I don't understand why we're not, I don't know, I know that a lot of people will be like, homeless people want to be homeless, or whatever, right, if that's who we're talking about,
and
specifically.
There's, like, one that I know who did, but still, it's like, well, why does that hurt giving them food?
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I don't know. Just on a homeless right now. Fucking end homelessness here, and then we can all do better. I don't know how. If we can do it here, then it's just something. It's a start. End it. And this is for the whole world. You know? If you can help your neighbors, then we can all be better, and then we can teach other two people how to do it, and then they'll do it, and then just the world will do it. Because that's what we'll be taught to do, because it'll help. And, like, it'll literally also help us heal. You know? Because I can't heal right now, because the suffering is every day. So I'll never fully heal. None of us will ever fully heal as long as we know that there's starving and hungry people, you know? Sorry, starving and hungry. I meant thirsty. What is the dehydrated? Is that it?
Yeah, dehydrated.
Like, people aren't getting enough water, not getting enough food? Like, let's just figure that shit out. How hard could it be, really? I don't know. Probably hard, but I don't know. Start in your neighborhood, right? Start in your little area. Branch out. Work together. I think we could figure it out. Yes, this is a call to action. Build up your community.
Yeah, in any way that you can.
No limitations. No limitations.
And it's like
the size and just different ones. And, you know?
Like, just try out ideas.
Yeah, try new ideas, too. And share your ideas. And teach people your ideas. And take other people's ideas and do them better. Or the same. Or different. Or whatever. Just try shit out. I love trying new things.
Those are other things that, if you're still listening, you should submit at the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, if you guys have an idea, I'd love to hear it. Love to hear it. Or something you did, even, would be cool.
And we could
love
share
to hear.
it.
Yeah. Wait, that's two things we promised. I think we can only ask one question. Or two things we said we'd ask.
You could just look, because they're still listening, it's not the end. Just like type anything you want in the box. As long as there's not a character limit. Or DM us on Instagram.
Yeah, true
or
that.
TikTok.
True that.
I'll just plug yours because you have the same handle everywhere. It's Zen Free Skates.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I still need to work on my social media branding.
Oh man, it's so hard.
I don't know.
Like,
At least
by
you
the
have
time...
a coherent username. Not coherent, consistent.
True. but I like want it to change. Damn it. Or just gotta make another new one or something because they're different.
I think that would be good.
I love Zen free skates, and it needs to go back to being like free skates a little bit because that's like a passion of mine, and I don't want it to die. But also, like this is something else now. You know what I mean? To me, compared to Zen free skates, it's like two branches of the business. They're not even really connected. Maybe the T-shirts will be connected. You can buy Mary and Jesus T-shirts at zenfreeskates.com. That'd be cool. I feel like in the title we always have to say the Mary and Jesus Show by Shea Clipper and Aaron Doucette. Like we just have to include that when we say it.
We're actors.
Yeah. Just acting. We're just actors. We just take on some roles.
Yeah, or have like a disclaimer at the beginning, like this is by Shea Clipper and Aaron Doucette.
Yes, yes. I like this episode. I feel like we should just leave this one maybe here even.
Yeah, I think like we kind of touched everything and gave some ideas, thought of new ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's anything you want to us talk about more and get more in depth, like we really can. Like I feel like all those subjects are. You could talk about them forever, and there's a lot of things to learn. And if you have questions or you are feeling anything, honestly, also reach out to that Zen Free Skates. Like I'm always here. Honestly, reach out and say something that lets me know you're human, because you know bots and shit. But
Yeah, like hello, I am a human.
Hello, I am a human. Yeah, that's how you. That's exactly how you do it. That's a bot would never say that. That's a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It's like having the I am a robot captcha.
Yes.
It's like, wait, am I? Okay, well, until next time.
Yes. We love
We
you.
love you. Bye.
Bye.